Mr. Fake Twitter account. You can't even argue with a 13-year-old without hiding behind a fake name. Don't give reporters crap because they ask you questions about free agency. You're going to be one, and you make it a point to remind everybody that you're going to be one. And don't forget, you pulled the weakest free agency move ever. You left a team that was within one game of beating the Warriors and joined the Warriors because you couldn't handle it. You're not a leader either. LeBron James is a leader. LeBron James makes big moves. They don't always work. See the Anthony Davis situation. But he is a leader. He makes big moves. They have worked, and he's won 3 titles. And he's played in 9 finals. Yeah, you're probably going to get your 3rd, Kevin. You probably are. But you're playing on a team that is stacked. You're playing on what I call a lucky dynasty, given how it all came together. Now, the Warriors are not a lucky team. They drafted well, deserve all the credit in the world for putting that team together. But without Curry taking a below-market contract because of his injury, Kevin Durant signing because he just couldn't handle the pressure of doing it himself with Russell Westbrook, and other factors. Again, Warriors get a lot of credit, but there's a lot of luck in this dynasty. It is a team of 5 All-Stars. So getting 3 and maybe 4 in a row, very impressive. But don't act like you didn't pull the ripcord on the Oklahoma City situation, Kevin Durant. And then when a reporter asks you a legitimate question, you tell him, oh, you're not interested in that. Kevin, that's why they ask the question. You want them to ask you basketball questions, they do it and you walk away. You're attacking the reporters. You guys are attacking the media in the same way that Donald Trump does. And I'm not saying that you're Donald Trump. I'm just saying that that tendency is the same. Stop it. Answer the questions legitimately and move on. Okay. Last bit of news or last bit of conversation before we go here. I'm going to get more into the NFL draft as we go, including the nothing anyone says is real conversation as GMs, coaches, players, and agents all vie for saying nothing while speaking a whole lot. There was a lot of GMs and coaches at the Combine, and none of what they said probably means anything. But right now, I only want to talk about Kyler Murray because I find this fascinating. Kyler Murray was not even favored to start at Oklahoma last year. Okay, he replaced Baker Mayfield. He had a Heisman Trophy winning season. And going in, the question was he going to play baseball, drafted 9th overall by the Oakland Athletics, or was he going to play football? And football seemed like a bit of a long shot because of his size. He was reported in the Oklahoma Football Media Guide as 5'9", 195 pounds. That is tiny for an NFL quarterback. People point at Russell Wilson, and they say, well, it's not too far off from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson walks around at about 220, plays football at about 225, and he is a legitimate 5'11", close to 6 foot tall. He looks like a professional athlete. He is strong. He looks strong. And Kyler Murray has always looked a little lanky, right? He just looks long and lanky. He's short, but he just doesn't have that stockiness to him, that athletic build. So the surprise of the Combine was when he was weighed in at 207 pounds and measured at 5'10" and 1/8. And all of a sudden, it became okay to talk about him as the number 1 overall pick. This is ridiculous, right? He's either 5'9" or 5'10", right? Or it's even less than that. 5'9.5" versus 5'10 and 1/8. We're talking about less than an inch. That should not matter. He either can play football at the NFL level or he cannot. And based on the tape, GMs and coaches should be able to make that decision. It shouldn't be, are you 5'10 and 1/8? What the hell is that going to have to do with anything? He played the way he played at the height he played at. That's how it is. Now, the argument is, well, he's coming into a different league and those measurables matter. Okay, fine. In that case, 5'10 probably doesn't matter then either. Because other than Doug Flutie, there really hasn't been a starting quarterback that small. He's not Russell Wilson, guys. He's just not. Russell Wilson's a bigger guy. Look at pictures of Russell Wilson at Wisconsin and Kyler Murray at Oklahoma. These are 2 different builds. Now, Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. He's a good football player. He will get drafted probably in the first 5 picks. I predict he will go to Oakland at number 4. I don't think Arizona pulls the trigger here. I think Arizona keeps Josh Rosen, and I think they should. Josh Rosen is a very good NFL quarterback. I wanted him in Buffalo. I'm now happy with Josh Allen, but I wanted Josh Rosen, and I think Kyler Murray ends up with Chucky, a.k.a. John Gruden, in Oakland. But that doesn't really matter. I just get really, really weirded out when we say, less than an inch of height checks a box. The guy plays football. And that brings me to my next point. Except when he doesn't play football at the combine. If I'm a GM, a scout, or a coach, I'm a little nervous here, right? What's the primary reason why Kyler Murray wouldn't want to throw and run? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, he's eating a lot of hamburgers, hot dogs, and chips to get his weight to 207 so he could check that box. I'm guessing he's not going to run that 4.5, 4.6, 40-yard dash. So that's a concern. He put on too much weight. Now he's going to take it off. He's going to play at 195. But he wanted to check that box. He checked that box. But he can't run the speed he wants to run. So he'll get down to his playing weight. He'll run a 4.5 or 4.6 at the pro day. And everybody will say, oh my God, he checked that box too. Well, I hope people aren't stupid. He's going to have to lose weight to run that speed. Otherwise, he would do it here and continue to impress. Now, why isn't he throwing? It's not because of skill. Kyler Murray can throw the football. I think he would be just fine. We know sometimes quarterbacks come out and they don't have a great performance, but you do have a pro day for that very purpose. You also have private workouts. So having a bad day throwing the football, that's not the reason. Nope. The reason is he does not want to be in his underwear standing next to the other quarterbacks, the Haskins, the Locks. They don't want to see him next to them because why? Because even Jones out of Duke is going to dwarf Kyler Murray. He's going to look like a kid amongst grown men, and that is not going to be a good look for Kyler Murray. He's going to look like a smallish player because he is a smallish player. And checking these boxes and celebrating that his hand was 9.5 inches wide makes no sense to me. We don't need to combine anymore. We can watch these guys play football, and then the smart football guys, the John Dorseys of the world, yes, I'm looking at you, Cleveland, the Brandon Beans of the world in Buffalo, all these smart football guys, let them make the decisions. Not based on checking the box of height and weight and hand size, but watching football. And if you watch football, you know Kyler Murray can play. You have to take the chance on whether his size is going to hinder him, but him measuring up in certain ways just doesn't make sense. I will have more on the combine. I will have more on what the Browns and the Bills and other teams that interest me are doing. One thing I will point out is DK Metcalf, who he's a wide receiver, I guess. He put up 225 pounds 27 times or 22 times. I mean, just amazing strength from a wide receiver. He's somebody the Bills are targeting at 9. Again, I don't get a lot in the nuts and bolts of sports, but as a Bills fan, that'd be a pretty intriguing wide receiver to have out there with Josh Allen. So, again, more NFL offseason coming up. The NFL free agency period starts here in a couple weeks, and we'll get more into that. So that's basically the show today. I do want to kind of plug something that we'll be doing here in conjunction with SKO Radio, and please listen to them. They have just upgraded their music selection, skoradio.com. They are great. I'm on a show Sundays, Sports Brewing Company with Rick Carpenter and Brad Gurton. We will be also doing a live cast of March Madness. That is on March 21st at the Windsor Pub. If you're in the Northeast Ohio area, that's at 1322 East Talmadge Avenue, Windsor Pub on Facebook. We are going to be there from 12 till we stop, and hopefully we'll get through all the games. That would be about 12 hours of broadcasting. The idea is we're going to cover the games as they're live. We're going to have some interviews that we've had, both on my show and other shows, and we're just going to have good sports talk. And if you're there, you might be part of the show. We love having live audiences. We love involving the audience, and we've been known to enjoy a drink or two. So I wanted to plug that. please continue to give me reviews of this show. I've gotten some great feedback, and I think we've improved the show because of it. So as I close, please give me a review on iTunes or Google Play or Overcast or wherever you found me. And feel free to email me, cinderblocksports@gmail.com, tweet me at cindersports, and follow me on Facebook at cinderblocksports. This has been a pleasure, been a great show, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.